Hello and welcome to our live news. My name is Blessing Owo. The news headlines. President Tinubu declares state of emergency in Rivers State, suspends Governor Fubara. Federal government to deliver 500,000 housing units annually and 5 million in 10 years. Nigeria's food inflation drops to 23.51% in February 2025 as price pressures ease. The news in details. President Bola Tinubu has declared a state of emergency in Rivers State following the prolonged political crisis in the state. President Tinubu made the proclamation during a nationwide broadcast suspending Governor Siminalayi Fubara, his deputy Ngozi Odu, and all the members of the House of Assembly for 6 months. The president nominated retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Ibas as administrator to take charge of the affairs of the state for the first 6 months. The president relied on Section 305 of the 1999 Constitution to make the proclamation. The section interprets a state of emergency as a situation of national danger, disaster or terrorist attacks in which a government suspends normal constitutional procedures to regain control. For about 2 months, there seemed to be no end in sight in the protracted feud and power tussle between the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, and his constrained ex-political godson, Fubara, over the control of the political structure in the oil-rich Rivers State. Pipelines have reportedly exploded in the state as the political tension heightened, with civil servants threatening mass protest against the Martins Amuele group in the House of Assembly loyal to Wike. Tinubu said, "The latest security reports made available to me shows that between the week there have been disturbing incidents of vandalization of pipelines by some militants without the governor taking any action to curtail them." He gave stern order to the security agencies to ensure safety of lives of the good people of Rivers State and the oil pipelines. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed Dangiwa, has revealed that the federal government is working to deliver 100,000 in the next 1 year and 5 million in 10 years as part of efforts to reduce housing deficits in the country. The minister made the disclosure in Abuja at the Public-Private Partnership PPP Renewed Hope Housing Summit with the theme Leveraging Public-Private Partnerships to Deliver the Renewed Hope Agenda for Housing. Dangiwa stated that Nigeria is currently battling a housing deficit of about 28 million, which has agonized many citizens where they are unable to access basic shelter. To bridge this gap and meet rising demands, we are working to deliver 500,000 housing units annually over the cost of 10 million naira per unit. This translates to an annual financial requirement of over 5 trillion naira, approximately $6.25 billion. Nigeria's food inflation rate dropped to 23.51% in February 2025, marking a significant drop from 37.92% recorded in February 2024. According to the latest Consumer Price Index (CPI) reports from the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS), the drop represents a notable moderation in food price increases, although the month-on-month data shows that food prices are still rising. The report attributes the sharp year-on-year decline in food inflation partly to a change in the base year for measurement. However, on a monthly basis, food inflation stood at 1.67%, reflecting a slower pace of price increases compared to January 2025. This suggests that while food costs are still going up, the rate at which they are increasing has reduced. Nigeria's total debt service payments dropped significantly from $540 million in January 2025 to $276 million in February 2025. According to the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN's latest data on external sector payments, this decline comes amid ongoing efforts by the federal government to restructure its debt portfolio, improve dollar liquidity, and ease pressure on the foreign exchange market. The figures published on the Apex Bank's website highlight the increasing strain of debt obligations on Nigeria's external reserves and overall fiscal sustainability. Analysts suggest that recent debt repayment deferrals and negotiations with multilateral leaders may have contributed to the lower outflows for the month. And on the foreign scene, President Volodymyr Zelensky warned against heading a Kremlin call to halt military aid for his country and announced he would speak with the US President Donald Trump later within hours. Russian leader Vladimir Putin issued the demand during a call with Trump on Tuesday. Part of a rapprochement initiated by Washington that seeks to broker a complete ceasefire more than 3 years into the Russian invasion of Ukraine. I do not believe that we should make any concessions in terms of assistance for Ukraine, but rather there should be an increase in assistance for Ukraine, Zelensky said at the press conference with his Finnish counterpart, Alexander Stubb. Zelensky said an increase in aid would signal that Ukraine is ready for any surprises from the Russians. The Kremlin, however, agreed to halt Russian strikes on Ukrainian energy infrastructure, and Zelensky in Helsinki shall he hoped to learn details during a call later in the day with Trump. Zelensky has accused Russia of effectively rejecting a US-backed ceasefire proposal as he criticized an overnight barrage of Russian drone and missile strikes over Ukraine. He said the attacks that killed one person, wounded others, and damaged 2 hospitals showed Putin's words are very much at odds with reality. Zelensky said Washington should take a lead role in overseeing any agreement leading to a halt in Russian and Ukrainian attacks on energy infrastructure. Thank you for listening. This is Alive News. My name is Blessing Owo.